Well, hold there! Boy, you must have really done something stupid. Please not been this aggravated since before color television. I suggest you go and sit down, don't speak and listen very closely. Whatever you do not interrupt him. I know you humans are extra stupid, but I want you to make it. I am a fan of your kind.
Hello, my earthly friends. This is your old friend Lou. I suggest you show yourself to have manners and address me by the name that you have always been comfortable with, Mr. Stitch. Pleasantries aside, I have got a bit of a bone to pick with you. Somehow, despite my best efforts, you have allowed private citizens to build platforms and blogs and social media groups to thwart everything apologies. Everything we worked so hard to bring into fruition. I have done my dead level best to give you literally everything you want without limitations, or the vices and hidden things within the chambers of your wicked hearts. For centuries, we got along smashingly. Now look at the state of you. Somehow you've bungled everything in the cryptid field to the point of gross inefficiency. Apparently to denizens of the southern United States has been, I don't even want to say it, but they have been uplifting people to Jesus, encouraging the study of the Bible. And I don't mean the ones I personally translated either. On paper they should be easy to sift like wheat, but no, they seem to skirt between the raindrops, thus avoiding all their consequences, mucking about into the spiritual affairs of others. Once mind you, that does not concern either of themselves, leaves me with a level of annoyance I have not felt since Billy Graham was in his 20s. One fancies himself an explorer and adventurer yet doesn't accept my lucrative offers for more. Like the giant idiot Cub Scout that he is, a little girl called DDoS or Rick Ross or whatever the bloody hell he calls himself, and the spooky dark waters of the Big Easy. Bollocks. These two have put quite the bee in my bonnet. When their names first came across my desk I thought, how bad do I need to punish the chap who wasted my valuable time bringing it into my office? But then they just kept being little aggravating shits. Progressively agitated this out of me. One report after the next, it's madness. Out of the ordinary for what my underlings are accustomed to dealing with. My hold of Demon's morale has never been lower. I sent Strongman to break that dumb hayseed whilst he was in Stony Lonesome, busting rocks in the hot sun. The big dummy then found a Bible, so that wound up being a bust. Every strategy implemented by some of the highest rankings of spirits under my control has taken the piss. Between Washington DC and the Sound Collider in Geneva, I simply do not have time to play around with these two troublemakers. The big one, what with his rambling on like a lunatic about disconnected and unrelated topics, makes out like he is the Batman or Sherlock Holmes of the supernatural. Him and his biblical ramblings and scatterbrained madness. Then the other one down in the Big Easy, he's a whole other set of problems. I'd have you lot know that he, along with some other naughty Nellies, damn near cost me my Mardi Gras celebration. I'd have you know that I meet the bulk of my quota down there. I mean, who does this type of shit, interfering with my work? I'd like to kick their teeth in, but I'm a gentleman of wealth and taste, so I refrain. Machine Gun Waters pretending he isn't a criminal mastermind and political fixer. Both of these chumps walked in and out of my neighborhood for years. Now this Jim Jones character, the big one, from the state where they sent the Indians, I'm sick of his fat mouth. He's thrown my address on air. People talking about CERN in Switzerland. Who does shit like that? He's a busybody, he is. I'm sick of both of them going about being nosy nuisances and interfering in my business. As if it's something neat to do. Well, gee was DDoS, we really got old Stitch this time, didn't we? Oh boy, did we ever wallop him. We got him really good DW. Bollocks, these two geezers, who aren't smart enough to accept free gifts from a potential new friend, are completely out of control. Now I know what you are thinking. Why, old Stitch? Why would someone of your stature and prestige worry about some country bumpkin with Asperger's syndrome, or the bad guy from Live and Let Die? Firstly, I note that Roger Moore was the best Bond. Then I'd proceed to give you the answer. No sugar, no cream, because you bloody morons, they are being constantly brought to my attention. So I implore you all to do maybe not the good or right thing, but the best thing in this instance, and that is to listen without question, like the good old days where you embraced your subjugation. So there's a few more offers I'd like to make. Perhaps we can make the Orchid beat someone up, or Mr. Sugar Hell Tommy gun someone and it makes the telly. But whatever happens, do not listen to all that prayer nonsense. No one knows you better than you know yourself. You just can't. And I have to put an emphasis on it. You cannot pray or read that book. Ever. There's nothing exciting in it anyways. Grab a comic or one of the scandal rags of the market. I'll finish with this dial warning to my subordinates. You bloody amateurs have bungled every task given to you thus far and I'm sick of it. If you don't do something to at least slow these people down, well then I'll just destroy you and have an end to it. Azazel, you old goat, meet me at my villa in Geneva for tea this evening.
Mankind, kneel before your new master. The master your father served in the old world has returned unto you. I am Moloch. Your only hope is that you kneel before me and offer the proper...
Well, you ain't the boss or nothing, so what are you on about?
Shit. What do you want, Lucy? Must you always be the center of attention?
This is the new cleaning lady called Good Golly Miss Molly Moloch, isn't it, Molly?
No, Lucy, you are lying again.
Why don't you quit bothering people who are simply walking the hallways?
Pardon me a moment, human, while I deal with this guy.
Why don't you stop harassing people simply walking down the halls?
You are being so rude to our human guests.
You're making a pest of yourself, mate.
As I was saying before, we were so rudely interrupted. The old gods are about to return.
Some old god is right.
Your rebellion was completely apart from ours, so why don't you just piss off?
Jog on and stop making a pest of yourself.
Lucy, must you always be so rude? I was talking to your human guests about the return of the old gods.
Then what will happen? Isn't there something about a dragon and his angels fighting the bloody captain of the hosts of heaven? I forget that lad's name. Oh right, it's me.
As I was saying before, we were so rudely interrupted. The old gods are about to return, and all will kneel before Moloch.
It is what it bloody is, mate.
Lucy is a real creep, so just know you will have options.
Go away, human, before I decide to change my mind and smoke your game. Whatever you do, do not like, subscribe, or any of that rubbish. You know our lot doesn't need to. We've got worldly wicked things to see about. Now, come along with me so I can whisper something in your ear.